revision workshop. It's so great to be with you, and I'm super excited because today we're going to revisit some of our past discussion and topics, highlighting valuable insights that have been shared by our esteemed guests. And you know, we've covered really some crucial themes to date, such as meaning and purpose, change and resilience, time management to reduce stress, and we've even dived into a big one for so many people when we explored signs that your aging loved one needs help. So I trust that you'll find today's session enlightening, and if you're eager to delve even deeper into any of these subjects, our website offers an array of resources along with access to our archive of past recordings for you to enjoy. In our first caring conversation, we explored the importance of meaning and purpose in caregiving, where we unpacked the transforming power of purpose and how it brings satisfaction and joy to our lives and the lives of others. You know, pursuing purpose involves personal reflection and self-development, including aligning actions with inner peace and authenticity. It positively influences others, sparks curiosity, and even enhances job satisfaction and resilience, especially among caregivers. But you know what? That's not all. Having a sense of purpose also reduces stress, it strengthens relationships, and it promotes empathy. It elevates the quality of care, and it enhances the well-being of the recipient, creating a positive impact on both caregivers and those that they care for. So here are some highlights from that session.
In a small village in Italy, with my family, my mom suffers from some mental health disorders, and I found myself to be, a carer from a very early age. And that to me was a very pivotal time, because I learned to be, looking after, my mom, if you want, and also myself from an early age. And also my father as well has been a little bit, has got a very dominant personality, and that affected me a little bit, that the family environment. And maybe deep down, I always wanted to care for people, I guess, from my mom's experience, and and understanding all the sufferings that she's going through, and also, in a way, supporting my father, caring for my mother as well. So I think that's where it all started, and I wanted to be there for my family and supporting them through a difficult journey, if you want.
Enjoy what you do, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And the other one is that love is an action. It starts with compassion.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really is the driver, isn't it? It's that pain becomes our passion, becomes our purpose, because we see a problem or experience a problem, we find a solution or something that's worked for us, and we want to be able to share it and empower the next person up, and then they can go and follow that pattern. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because when we are doing in our daily life what aligns with our values, the passion comes, the drive comes. And I think, Giovanni, when you were talking about working for that organisation that was a dictatorship and abusive, it wasn't aligning with your values and what you were on the planet to do. And so how beautiful to be in a position right now where we can do that, where you are doing that, where you are making a difference. We can end up in those situations and circumstances for different reasons. Sometimes we've got an ageing parent. Sometimes we have a child who was born with a disability and they're living with that every day. Sometimes it's an accident or an illness and we're thrown into it, and we're not doing it because it's a choice to serve. We're doing it because our circumstances have led us into that. And what I would say is that one of the best things that people can do, especially if they're feeling burned out and exhausted, is to remember that we can't fill others from an empty cup. So that self-care is just so important, and it's actually part of your role and your responsibility as a carer. To look out for yourself. Because self-care is not selfish. It's just something that's crucial and critical.
In our second session, we unpacked the topic of change and resilience with Justine Martin. Justine talked us through her powerful life story and how she navigated challenges through resilience and also grace. Change is a complex phenomenon. It encompasses so many areas, including various emotional experiences from excitement to anxiety. It challenges us to adapt and grow and is often accompanied by a sense of loss for what was familiar. But to navigate change, we need to acknowledge emotions. We need to stay flexible and focused on controllable aspects that are crucial. So seeking support, practicing self-care, and maintaining realistic expectations help to maintain resilience. Embracing a growth mindset and staying positive facilitate personal and professional development amidst change. Ultimately, though, by embracing change with resilience and an open heart, we can emerge stronger and more fulfilled. Here are some highlights from that conversation.
I like to say that I've got two lives. One that started when I was born in 1971, so work out how many years years old I am, and then it changed in 2011. Now, my mum had MS. She was diagnosed in about 1981. I was around 10 years of age, but she had breast cancer before that, and she got cervical cancer and then lung cancer. So there was a lot of trauma and building resilience as a teenager and as a child there with her and being her carer. And then in March 2011, so I'm coming up to my 13th year of being diagnosed myself with multiple sclerosis. Then in 2013, 14 and 15, I underwent heart surgeries. And you think that would be enough. And then in 2016, I started going purple with a condition called lividio reticularis. I look like a zombie, so my kids thought it was great. I was the Walking Dead. Mum was turning into a zombie. We tried to make light of it all. That then led me to being diagnosed with melanoma in the September when they were looking for lymphoma. Then I got diagnosed later that year with mixed cryoglobulinemia, so all my internal organs were being choked off with too much protein in my blood, which then, so that was in the December. They knew that I had lymphoma, they just didn't know what type. And then in the January 2017, I got diagnosed with chronic lymphocytic leukemia and small lymphocytic lymphoma. So effectively I had 3 primary cancers, 2 blood conditions and the MS all at the same time. Then I got diagnosed in 2018 with lipedema, which is a genetic condition that's also known as painful fat syndrome that is quite prevalent in the media at the moment as well. And my mum had it, my auntie's got it. There's quite a few of us in the family with that. And then 2020, unfortunately, I was the victim of domestic violence again, had bones broken, and I'm still dealing with that. And then in 2022, I found my last partner dead on the floor. So there hasn't been yet to find an adversity that I haven't faced. So, broken marriages, illness, facing death, you name it. I've pretty much been through it in my 53 years on Sunday.
Wow.
Don't be a martyr.
Yeah. Doesn't get you anywhere.
It doesn't get you absolutely anywhere. Yeah. Because who's going to look after you when you're down the bottom then? I mean, there's another thing, treat yourself as a god or a goddess. And where are you on the ladder of life? Are you down the bottom or are you up the top that you can then help everyone else under there? Yeah. So, pull everyone else up. Yeah. But you can't do that unless you're looking after yourself.
That's right. And, there are so many.
What are some of the misconceptions to resilience?
That. What we just spoke about. How fast people think resilience is, you bounce back straight away. And it's not. It's having the coping mechanisms put in place that you can bounce back and not stay down the bottom for a long period of time. Like, everyone says to me, you're so positive and, positivity porn and all that. And I'm like, no, you should see me on my bad days. But they're a bad day. They're not a bad week, month, year, decade.
Yeah.
All right, so I now have strategies in place that I recognise. I've not been on antidepressants now since end of 2011, because I know, I recognise the signs of when my body starts slipping down that dark hole. And I know what strategies I need to put in place. Back to the counsellor, I surround myself with positive people. We are the sum of the 5 people that we hang around, so making sure that my tribe is positive on there. I control the fuel that's going into my mind. So social media can be very, very toxic. I've got if you let it, I've got people on my social media that their values don't align with my values. I'm still friends with them, but there's a little button that says unfollow. They don't know that I'm not following them. I'm not telling you who they are. Occasionally I pop onto their timeline and, I'll like a post here and there and go, yep, they haven't changed their values, and I'll pop back out again. But I'm controlling what I'm actually seeing. I don't very rarely watch the news. Again, I'm controlling what goes in the fuel into my mind.
Even music and stuff like that.
Yeah, videos, music videos. I'm very careful of what I watch. Movies. If I start watching a movie and it starts making me feel ick, it's like, I'm not going to watch the end of this. I don't need to watch the end of this. I watch lots of comedy. Laughter is really good. So, having all those strategies, hobbies, we all learnt through COVID, when COVID first hit, that if you didn't have a hobby, you were stuffed.
Yeah.
There was only so much TV that someone could watch. All right, and so having a creative output really helps with resilience.
Our third caring conversation was joined by the Time Lord Les Watson. Les discussed many strategies in managing tasks efficiently to achieve productivity in all aspects of life, and the importance of maintaining a trusted system for organisation. Les's key principles of effective task management included things like simple tricks to break tasks into manageable actions, leveraging the kinesthetic value of writing for memory retention, and also incorporating regular maintenance routines like the data dump exercise and the 2-minute rule. And it also highlighted the need that we have to establish boundaries, incorporating flexibility and prioritising tasks. Take a listen to Les's practical wisdom.
I think it was Monash's MBA actually said, no more laptops, no more tablets, no more iPads. You need to write your notes because of the cognitive difference of writing it pen to paper is huge.
So good.
So I say to people, take the trigger list and just word for word, what is it triggering inside of you? So for me, garage, for example, if I said the word garage, there are 4 things. My wife, Mary, would say there's 100, but she's not here, so it's just 4. They are, I bought 2 shelves and only built 1. So I build the second shelf. There's some audio gear I need to pack away. There's some boxes I need, and I need to sweep. So there's 4 things. So I wouldn't write down garage, I'd write down the 4 actions.
So very specific. Be specific in what you want to achieve and what you want to get through.
Yep. So that thing of doing a data dump, getting it out of your head down onto paper, and you can do it on a regular basis. It doesn't need to just be something you do once. You can do it every week, you can do it every month. I have people come back to me every year to go, just that exercise is worth the price of entry, just to come and do that exercise.
Absolutely, and we invited you in, it was a couple of years ago when you came to our office and ran that workshop with all our team, and I'm still remember that exercise. It was just so good, to do the mental, you create a mental space to be more effective. And not to worry about, because you can't hold so many thoughts in your mind. And once you write it down, it's like you crystallize them, and then you have them in front of you and you say, wow, this is not as bad as I thought it is. And then it's there, and you know that, you got to deal with that.
Yeah, and it's 2 sides to the coin. Some people, once they get it out of their head onto paper, it's reams, it's pages and pages and pages. And the first comment that they say is,
they get overwhelmed by
I'm
this
overwhelmed with this stuff. It's like, well, hold on a tick.
Yeah.
It was still there. I didn't create that. It was actually sitting on your shoulder going, what about me, what about me, what about me? All we've done is taken it from the back to the front, put it on the paper, and you go, wow, how about that?
So I was talking to Les about it, and I said, but how do I do that practically? Because I'm so on the go, and then I've got all these caring responsibilities that I'll have everything planned out and I'll do my list and everything, but then I'm so busy. And he gave me this piece of advice, and it was always plan gaps in your day. And there's a very big reason for that. Liz, you want to share that with everybody because it's actually revolutionised my thing. And I'm an apps person because I've got an ADHD brain, so if I don't have it written down with an alarm, and actually, to be honest, I've put 3 alarms for each thing, I will forget or I'll hyper-focus and miss out. But those gaps, essential, especially when caring, because you've got to always have your downtime and your self-care, but also
Unexpected.
the curveballs.
Yeah, something unexpected.
And it is about curveballs. Since when have we had the perfect day? It's been a while since we had a perfect day. For us that are on the go, for us that are caring for other people. Why? Because it happens that you've got it is the curveball. That I didn't see that coming. Where did that come from? I didn't plan for that. That wasn't in my agenda. So having gaps in your schedule enables you to say, okay, so I've got that. I'm going to take a half hour before and a half hour after. Or 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after. Some people are listening going, yeah, that's not going to work for me. And that's okay. Where can it work? Where can you take a morning tea break? Where can you take lunch? And there are some that have this lunch break and I'm going, are you doing that at your desk? Don't do that at your desk. Again, don't do your back to back to back to back to back to back to back. It doesn't work like that. And as Danny said, you end up in overwhelm because someone comes and says, you've got 5 minutes, and you explode. You go, I've not got 5 minutes. Don't you know how busy I am? And they go, no.
Yeah. People that you see, what is the one biggest time management issue that you see?
Procrastination.
So how do you get out of that rut then?
It's a 2-minute rule.
Okay.
It's an oldie but a goodie. It's a thing of if it comes up, it's in your goals and in your integrity to do, and you can do it within 2 minutes, then just do it. And Mel Robbins, she was the queen of this. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do it. So it's there. I need to ring this person. I'll put it off. And you go, no, I could do it now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pick up the phone, make the call.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
And Nike.
Yeah.
And it works because it's getting things done. So people ask me how I get things done because I don't procrastinate. I don't kind of put it off till later. I go, how can I get that done? Even going through the house. You go, I could do that later. No, do it now. Bang, it's just a quick one. Put the dish away, I've finished my cup of tea. And rather than just leave it on the desk, go and wash it up. It's only 5 steps, 10 steps away to the kitchen sink from my office. And I'll do that later, I'll do that later, I'll do that later. So procrastination, number 1. So to get over procrastination, choose to be bold. I call it leadership and discipline. Leadership and discipline. Be the leader of your life. And obviously you've got a person that you're caring for. You're being the leader of them, but the leader of yourself, like leader of the schedule, leader of the joint schedule, the joint calendar. Someone needs to lead it. Someone needs to step up and go, no, I'm getting this done.
Our most recent conversation was on the topic of signs your ageing loved one needs help. And we were joined by geriatric physiotherapist Lisa Ross. Lisa guided us through these signs as well as tips for proactive measures and prevention. She spoke about the difference between normal ageing in contrast with signs that indicate the need for assistance, which is actually very crucial for maintaining functional independence in ageing individuals. Addressing the interconnectedness of physical and mental health, Lisa also highlighted the importance of breaking the fear loop that can lead to social isolation and worsen overall well-being. Lisa also discussed how proactive measures and equipment can help preserve independence and enhance safety while initiating conversations about ageing-related assistance, framing them positively, and involving ageing loved ones in decision-making. All of these things are essential for overcoming resistance and ensuring a supportive environment. Listen as Lisa explains.
Ageing includes becoming more frail or feeling less confident, going out less. And I think it's really important to think about that as not normal ageing, and that people can live a really fulfilled life as they age, and being able to do the things that mean a lot to them. Danny, you might have more to say around it's important not only the physical health as you age, but also people's mental health. So a lot of clients present with symptoms that could also be depression or mental health related as well as physical related, and it's really important to get that interplay and navigate that really well as well. You know, it's a big thing that people want to maintain their independence, and they'll grasp onto that, and that might mean that they figure that using a walking aid is that this is me not being independent anymore. And the conversations I try to have with patients and clients is that giving you something to make you more safe will actually increase your independence, because you can do more, you can walk further, you know you have a seat, so you're not afraid of getting tired. And that if you were to fall and fracture a bone, that is really something that will actually end up as you being less independent. So I try to have those conversations really respectfully with patients.
Yeah.
I know that, you know, you're not feeling so well or you're unwell at the moment, and a lot of the time it's people that have been in hospital.
Yeah, because we know that, like, when one of those events, like a fall happens,
Yes.
patients' clients can usually decline quite quickly after
Absolutely.
that. So it's important to be proactive and have those conversations to prevent those types of events from happening.
Yeah. And I think too, acknowledging that it's normal to be fearful after you have had a fall.
Yeah.
It's quite frightening.
Yes.
They might have been alone or on the floor and not able to call for help. So acknowledging that fear is normal, but the unhelpful aspects of it we sort of, I guess, need to broach or challenge, and that you don't want to get into this cycle where we are fearful of falling, so we move less.
Yeah.
Therefore, we become more weak, and then we're at more risk of falling. So it's trying to tap into that cycle and break it through building confidence, whether that be through some exercises that you can do at home safely, or joining into a group that increases your physical activity and strength. Yeah. There's a few things I think that are important and that people can do. Firstly, that physiotherapists, they're a primary care provider, so you don't need a referral from your GP to go to a physiotherapist. So that is something that families can initiate themselves. And you can also get a care plan from your GP in where you get 5 subsidised visits, whether that be podiatry or counselling or physio. If you have a chronic disease, so say if you have osteoarthritis, diabetes, cardiac issues, you could ask that physiotherapy be one of those 5. You can choose how they are split up. And I think that would be a great way for patients or clients, we use 2 different words when depending on the situation we're in, to have that screening, have some ideas around what we can do, and remembering that our physical function can always be improved. Just because you're aging doesn't mean that exercise will not make a difference. So I think being more proactive about how we think about our physical health as we age. And they're really simple things. You can have exercises that you do while you're putting the kettle on, for example. You can strengthen your legs. It's 5 minutes. We can do that a couple of times a day. Could be going for short walks and multiple short walks rather than one big long walk, and then building up. So I think if we can think about it as a prevention, that's a great way. The other thing is that if someone does have a fall or is feeling anxious, we can think about things that we can do to increase their confidence. You can have a conversation about having a call bell if something, a falls alarm. I can't remember what they're called.
Yes, false alarms,
And there's lots of different ones out there on the market now,
absolutely.
whereas it used to be this one with a chain and people were embarrassed and they would take them off.
Yeah.
You can even wear it as a watch.
You can have a smartwatches now.
Yeah, and automatically calls. So you don't even need to do anything really. It just triggers all of that automatically.
Yeah.
Even Apple Watches now have
You can
like
call
fall
on them.
detection and
It's
crash
so much
detection.
better.
Thank you so much for joining our session today. And if any of the content has resonated with you and you're eager to learn more, remember that we have resources available on our website at conversationswithgng.com. Stay tuned for our upcoming session next month on carer wellness and self-care. And of course, be sure to follow us on our social media platforms where we share resources, tips and stories relevant to all types of caregivers. We look forward to seeing you again next month for our live discussion on carer wellness and self-care. See you then.